Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good day, ladies and gentlemen. Today I want to defend my speech entitled Stop Sexism, Feminist Effort in Making Women Visible in the Global Politics. Now let's have a moment and think. What do you think when someone is forced to behave like their gender? For example, this illustration right here. That a boy is crying and being told by his friend to be not cry and be masculine instead. Or maybe a woman who is being told to be just focused on the kitchen agenda and raising a kid. If we have a mindset like that, we are already doing what is called as sexism. Sexism itself is an ideology that prejudice, stereotyping, and discrimination based on people's gender or sex. If the sexism can affect anyone, it primarily affects women and girls. As the practice of sexism is increasing around the world, feminists emerge as a socio-political movement that define political, economic, personal, and social equality of sexes. That's why here I want to tell you about the feminist effort in making women visible in the global politics. To begin, I will explain about feminists taking action towards the active violence against women, and feminists made someone sense their own gender identities. The first topic is that feminists taking action towards the act of violence against women. Traditional beliefs state that woman is subordinate than man, which this raises the potential of women experience violence against them by men. WHO indicate that about 1 in 3, 35% of women worldwide has experienced physical and sexual violence in their life. For example, in Indonesia, National Women's Commission said that there is 275 cases of adult women experience violence and 277 of them is the victim. But you don't need to worry, because of this feminist movement, the United Nations Secretary General has released a campaign to end violence against women that named Unite and is commemorated in every 25th of November. That's why here I want to tell you to stop harming women and start protecting them instead. Therefore, I want to emphasize that the action that feminists take towards the act of violence against women has raises the awareness of women in their environmental. The next topic is that feminists made someone sense their own gender identity through their social life. Gender identity itself formed from a person's social life, which indicate male or female to be feminine or masculine. This is also indicated on how someone to think, learn, work, and act. Women and men have a different perspective and on how to react on something. That's why this is effect on women and men's position in the occupational area, which is also in the global politics. For example, in South Korea, from Yonhap News 2005, a head of HRD from 50 companies and 44% of them, if the applicants have the same qualification, they rather to choose the male applicants. But after the feminists deconstruct the gender identities, two feminist figures named Rebecca Grant and Kathleen Newland, they both deconstruct the international relations theories and include women as one of the political actors alongside with men. And after these two, the companies started to accept women's applicants. That's why here I want to tell you to not differentiate people again based on their sex or gender anymore. Therefore, I want to emphasize that feminists made someone sense their own identity, and it affects women's and men's position in equal way in various aspects. In conclusion, sexism needs to be reduced, along with the feminists taking action towards the act of violence against women, and feminist made someone sense their own gender identity. Feminist has taken action towards the act of violence against women. And, WHO indicate that 35% of women worldwide has experienced violence against them, and resulted in releasing of campaign named Unite by United Nations Secretary General to end violence against women around the world. And that feminist made someone sense their own gender identity is that affects women's and men's place in the occupational area and in the global politics, and they both now have the same place in that two sections. Actually, life is just like what David Alejandro Fernhead said, that life is not a competition between men and women, it is a collaboration. Now that you know how feminists struggle in making women visible and in making women have the same place as men, it is way better if you stop seeing women as the subordinate one and see them as the traditional beliefs sees women, because women is now have the equal place with men, and you must respect them just like you respect other men. And woman is free to choose what's best for herself. Thank you for your attention. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.